way or the other, or you're someone that loves the volunteer space, right? So for this icebreaker, I'll just be asking a question, and please do not go silent on me. I beg you, please do not go silent on me. I want you to also contribute. So I just have one simple question. Please, I want somebody to just share his or her volunteer experience over the years. You know, what have you experienced ever since you came into the space of volunteering, either as a CEO or as a volunteer, whether good or bad experience? We just want to hear and learn from you. So the floor is open to anyone that wants to share his or her experience in the volunteer space. Thank you. So who is going first? Wow, no one is agreeing to go first. I'll pick. Oh, okay. I think I see someone's hands. Christina, please, you can. The floor is open. You can continue. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Christiana Osedi-Eliojo, and I've been a volunteer for 2 years for Applied Sickle Cell Foundation, and I am more of a public enlightenment officer. That's what I volunteered for, and I helped to enlighten the public on the need for genotype testing. It has not been easy to come out selflessly and then to say that, okay, you want to do this without being paid. I don't get paid, yes. I willingly just go for events, hangouts that are enriching for sickle cell warriors. And in some way, it has been great because seeing these people pass through lots of stress, issues, and then society makes it seem as though they are not okay, which I very much disagree. But then having seeing them, like, it's not easy, but then doing it selflessly makes it easy and then very, very impacting. And then it just enriches me to want to do more. It makes me feel like I'm not even doing enough. And it has been great. It has been great. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your experience, Christina. That's beautiful. You know, sometimes my elder brother will say something that if he catches any of his friend that is AS, gets married to a lady that is also AS, he's going to beat that love out of the person. It's not easy. You know, you see people out there living with sickle cell, and you just have to support them in every way possible. I used to have a student in my class who is a sickle cell fighter, and his mom died. He lost his mom to sickle cell, and you could see this boy is intelligent, he's smart, but the fact that he has already admitted to the fact that one day I'm going to die, you know, just made him very nonchalant about his academics. He's not serious. He just comes to school the day he wants, and he's not really attentive in class, doesn't write notes. And there was a day I asked him a question in class. Nobody could attend to that question, but just now I was like, wow, so this boy, you are this intelligent, and because of your state of health, you just choose to, you know, be lackadaisical about your academics. It's really a lot to see people out there fighting this particular illness. Wow, this is a good job you're doing. See, kudos to you. Keep it up. I really love what you're doing. And I pray God will keep giving you more strength, knowing that you're not being paid for it. God will keep giving you more strength to continue. So we'll have one more person share his or her experience in the volunteer space, either good or bad. We want to learn. We want to really experience what you are experiencing in your own space. Thank you. Just one more person before we move to the next agenda. All right, Jay, Amara Jay, you can.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Amarachi Jonoduma. I'm a volunteer, and I currently manage communities for people. Okay, so it's been, I don't know if you can hear me. Please let me know. I'm outside. so the noise doesn't penetrate. Please let me know if you can hear me.
Of course, we can hear you.
Okay, so I started volunteering 5 years ago, or rather 6 years ago, 2017. It's 6 years. And I started as a volunteer, but gradually moved to becoming a community manager for organizations, precisely organization that promotes finance. You can check it out online. The boardroom, I manage boardroom, I manage Southeast Young Entrepreneurs Forum. So the experience I've had so far has been beautiful. It has helped me both in my personal life and work ethics as well. Because what I've understood with volunteering is while you are doing it and you're not getting paid, you're actually building stamina, you're actually building skills that will help you when you start working. It's easy for you to adapt to any environment because you've already gone through these things and you do it as something you volunteer for. And you see the passion we give into volunteering. It's so beautiful that when you are now being paid, it's not something you are being coerced to do. And so far, so good. It has been beautiful. And I'm grateful that I'm a volunteer and also to my communities. It's been beautiful. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Marachi. It's awesome. Finally hearing the voice of the person behind boardroom. Really, really awesome to hear your voice this evening. So thank you so much for sharing that experience and for encouraging us to keep going, because doing a work that you're not being paid for is another level of love. Honestly, is another level of love. Because even in a relationship, it's a give and take thing. I can't be in a relationship with you and I'm not benefiting something from you. So if I'm not benefiting anything from you, why am I in a relationship with you? So you understand. So being in the volunteer space, you are the one giving out your knowledge, your experience, your skill, your talent. And somehow you earn, let's say, little or nothing. Most times what we earn is just the experience and the exposure and connection. You may not earn financial gain per se, but the fact that you have connections, people that you can really call up to and you can bank on is a lot. Thank you so much. So we'll be moving to the next agenda. The next agenda says showcase and talk about our anniversary. So I'll be just giving us a brief introduction about our anniversary. All right. So this is our third year as an organization, and it has been awesome. From one challenge to another and all, it has really been awesome. We faced a bit of challenge towards last year, but we thank God that this year we are back again and we are bouncing back stronger, and it is worth celebrating. So as we mark our organization's third year anniversary, we proudly present the Volunteers Revolution: Empower, Engage, and Impact. This event brings together professionals and organizations at the forefront of social impact to share insights and strategies about volunteer engagement across the diverse sectors. With an increasing need for motivated volunteers to help drive meaningful change, our team aims to inspire a shared understanding of volunteerism, power, extend its reach, and maximize its social benefits. So that's the goal, what we aim to achieve in this particular event. So what are the objectives of this anniversary? Why did we sit down and say, oh, you know what, let's put up an event? What is it? What are we hoping to gain? What are we hoping to achieve at the end of this particular event? One thing we will hope to achieve is to empower. And how do we hope to empower is to discuss. They said knowledge is what? It's power. So once you share have knowledge from other people that are doing well in a particular sphere, and it gives you more power to do more. What is it? Say what you don't know is always bigger than you. That is what they say. So today, what we hope to gain is that thing that you think you don't know, or that thing that you wish to know. We are creating a platform where we empower one another. We share knowledge. All right. The interactive panels will feature seasoned experts, passionate practitioners, and inspiring trailblazers who will provide their unique perspective on volunteerism in their respective sector. Panelists will be across with thematic areas such as health, education, environment, and youth empowerment, which are the core areas of our organization's eminent service consult. These are our core areas: health, education, environment, and youth empowerment. These are our core focus as an organization. And then the next objective of this anniversary event is to engage. How do we engage? It's through workshop. So our hands-on and immersive workshop will dive into nuisance of volunteer motivation and retention, a critical but often overlooked aspect of volunteer management. Participants will be taught strategies in regards of the topic and how best to utilize it for growth. You know, one thing volunteers face in the world is you volunteer for a particular organization, and because you are a volunteer, they just tend to give you every job, even beyond your job description, beyond what you're supposed to be doing. If you're in a corporate sphere and you're volunteering in that organization, they just, oh, because you're a volunteer and you are free and they're not paying you, they just feel like, oh, everything can be dumped on your decks. And when you're done with your period of service or your period of where you're volunteering for them, they don't see the need to retain you, which is almost very bad. You understand? So today this event hopes to, how do we hope to be retained in any organization we go to render our service. Another objective for today is what? To impact, to impact. And then how do we hope to impact? We believe from our panel section and workshop, participants will learn from proven strategies and from experienced personnel on how to foster stability in their journey by creating impact for the community they serve. So how do we hope to engage us and also impact us, and how do I impact my community? Sometimes you feel like, I don't think there's anything I can do in this community, but honestly, there is definitely something you can do. There is definitely something you can do. You live in a community where it's like everything is fine. They have good road, they have good water and everything, but look deep. As a volunteer, you need to look for a means to impact the community where you serve. So this is the goal. This is our anniversary event in plain terms. We hope to engage, we hope to empower, and we hope to impact. And I believe that before the end of this event, or at the end of this event, you will definitely not regret registering and joining and participating in this particular event. So I want to pass over to Wendy if she has anything else to add or say.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Precious, for that introduction into our event and what it's about. And yes, I actually do have something to actually share. I've been trying to share the video just to highlight some of the things that we've achieved, over the years for Eminent Services Consult and some of the, services that we offer. But I've been having technical issues. Anyhow, okay. I thought someone said something. All right. So first of all, it's been 3 years. We've actually transitioned from a lot of we actually transitioned from, okay, let me try and on my camera. I don't know if you can see me from where you are. So okay, let me know if you can see me. Yes. So like I was saying, so we've actually transitioned over the years, and a lot of people may not know, but we let me say I started as a blog. I once had a blog called the Wendy blog, and I usually just write inspirational stuff for people to just read up and all. And then, I transitioned into having a I transitioned into having like a business where I sell mobile data to businesses and stuff like, and to individuals. And then finally, transitioning into eminent services consults, and then, into what we have now. We ended up dividing the eminent service consult into the volunteer blog and the digital services that we offer. So it's been a long journey so far. I've been trying to share the video, but I don't know what's happening, but I will just explain it briefly so that we can move on to the next agenda that we have. So first of all, this is our third year. And over the past years, a lot of us know that we share volunteer opportunities. And in the past 3 years, we've actually shared approximately 300 plus opportunities, right? And these opportunities are not just volunteer opportunities, like volunteer opportunities and also resources. We also share like self-developmental resources for people who are in our group. Anyone who is on this call and who has been a part of our Telegram group would know that we've been sharing opportunities for a very long time. And we've shared over 300 plus opportunities. And that is a big plus to us and to those who are on our platform. We've also, over the years, we've also had, so I don't know, there's a platform, Nairaland. I don't know how many of us know it, but it's one of Nigeria's biggest forums. And, 2 days ago, the page actually turned 3. The page was created on the 15th of June, 2020. And I created that page to share volunteer opportunities for people on Ireland looking for volunteering opportunities. And that page has grown from 0 to close to 40,000 views, within the span of 3 years. And, for the past 3 years, we've actually been the one leading the career section in Ireland. If you go to career section, you'll see our post, as one of the top posts there. And that's something that we still have a lot of people who came. I believe some people are also on this call who came from Ireland. We have some people who came from the Telegram group too, who who came from Ireland as well. And that's also one of our biggest achievements, so far. Another thing is, over the past 3 years as well, we have grown our Telegram platform, the Telegram group that you are all on, most of us are on. We've grown it from 0 to over 300 plus participants, right? We had, it's actually more, but we usually like within May and August, we tend to like remove people who are not really active and stuff like that. So, but we've grown to close to 300 plus people within the past 3 years. And apart from that, we've participated in a lot of events, collaborations, 20 plus events, events that we did, events that other partners that we did. We have some of our partners here. We have some of our partners here who I would introduce later in the day, and then and out of all these events, over 20 plus events that we've had over 300 people, register for some of these events. That's cumulative sum of how many participants have actually actually registered for our events. And it's really been amazing. And we have an impact report which would share in the comment section, which you can just read through the impacts for the past 3 years that we've had. I would say it's not just a one person's efforts, we're efforts of volunteers we had volunteers who were with us, volunteers who are currently on this call now, and if partners who have joined us over the past 3 years. And I just want to say thank you. It's just unfortunate that my video is not playing up. I had all this on the video presentation. I don't know if you can see me because I tried on my video, but I just want to say thank you guys for supporting us over the years. it hasn't been an easy journey. Anybody who's here and has worked with volunteers know that it's not easy working with volunteers, right? It's a very it's a struggle, right? We have also trained organizations. We've trained people in learning more about how best to treat your volunteers, basically. And it's been a long journey, because if I want to start the story, it would not end today, right? And I just want to appreciate everyone who is currently on this call right now, and everyone who's on this call, everyone who has ever partnered with us, everyone who has taken us to a different level in regards to what we do at Eminent Services Consult. It's just been a long journey so far. And I think I will just end here because of my time. And we'll share the impact reports in the comment section, so you can just read through, so we can move on to the next agenda we have on the call. Right. Precious, I think you have to.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. It's really been a journey. It's really been a journey from one phase to another. For everything that is existing on the surface of this earth, they have different phases which they have to go through. Even we as humans, we had a phase where we were all children. From children, we grew to adolescents, being a teenager, and now we are all adults. And sometimes I used to tell my friend that adulting is not easy. I should have remained a child. But growth is definitely a constant thing. And we thank God that ESC has moved from one phase to another, and it has accomplished various goals and various milestones. And really want to appreciate the effort and applaud the efforts of everyone, whether those past volunteers and current volunteers with the organization, that has moved this great organization to the height at which it is currently. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. All right, so we'll be moving to the next agenda, and the next agenda is Partner Spotlight short talk on digital tools for impact. All right, digital tools for impact.
Okay, thank you, Precious. So before we have our speaker come up, we have a short video to just talk about the one of the events. The convener is here. She'll be the one talking to us about digital tools for impact. And I'll try and just hoping that the video shows up. So let me try sharing again, and then Okay, so I don't know if we got that. If you did, just type a comment in the section. Okay, I want to just apologize again. My system is having some technicalities, so I'm forced to like use my phone to do all this. Okay, all right. I can see people saying yes. All right, thank you so much. So our speaker today is Ella. We'll be putting up our profile now. Precious, you can take it up from here.
Okay. Nice to see have us around this evening. I believe we are all able to see the video that was shared. Now, that video is about the forthcoming SINGS event, which the host of the event, Emanuela Imo, is one of our facilitators, and she's here. So a little about Ella. Ella Imo is a social entrepreneur. Excuse me, sorry. Non-profit communication consultant and speaker who has dedicated her career to create and meaningful social change. With over a decade of experience in the non-profit sector, Emanuela has developed a deep understanding of how to drive generosity and great lasting impact. As the founder of Hexa Media, a full-service digital marketing agency that help African non-profit organizations using digital media, technology, and communications, Emanuela has worked with organizations of all sizes to design and implement effective communication strategies for social change. She has trained over 500 African non-profits and worked closely with most organizations. In addition to her work at Hexa Media, Emanuela is the convener of one of the foremost marketing summits for African nonprofits, the Social Impact Marketing Summit, and the initiator of the Humanitarians of African series, where she has shared over 400 stories of African nonprofit founders. So please join me today as we welcome Emanuela Imo, the founder of Hexa Media. Thank you, Ma, so much. The floor is open.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Z, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please say a yes in the chat, so I know I'm not talking to myself. Can anyone hear me? Okay, yes. All right, great. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I needed to correct that. Not 400 stories, please. 40 stories. We just started. I was laughing when you said 400. It's 40 stories. Thank you. All right, thank you so much for having me. Hi, boss. Good evening. My boss is here, Mr. Siju. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. Please, how many minutes do I have to share? Is it 20 or 15? Let me know so I know how fast I'm running.
10 minutes, Ma.
Oh, wow. Okay, shorter than I thought. All right, great. Let's get to it. Thank you so much for inviting me, Z. I've worked with Z for like, I think 2 years now, and I met her the first time 3 years ago, and it was really great. And it's been a great time, you know, working with her. She's been a very strong foundation to most of the work that we have done especially at the Social Impact Marketing Summit for the 2 editions, this year and last year's. So today I'm going to be sharing with you about digital tools for impact, and I'm going to be going very fast. So I will sort of run through the whole thing, but lay more emphasis on some of the tools I'm going to be sharing with you. And I know there are so many volunteers here. There are also some founders of some organizations and people who work in the impact space. So these tools are going to be very, very helpful for you. So permit me to run very fast. So get your pen and your paper or jotter so that you can write these tools when I start to spill. Okay, so what exactly are digital tools and how exactly can we use them for impact? So like we all know, digital tools are softwares, platforms, applications that facilitate the work online or the work in the digital world that we are all in now. And with 2023, we're ushered into the AI phase, which is pushing us closer to the Web3. For those of you who do not know, we're almost fully into Web3. There was Web 1, Web 2, now we're in Web 3.0. So all of the tools, the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, name it, the softwares, the applications that we're able to use to help us with the work that we do online on the digital space. That's exactly what the digital tools are. So how exactly does it benefit the impact work that we do? I have some points here. The first thing is it saves time and energy. Like we all know, when you work with some tools, it saves you the time and energy that you would have, used to do it yourself. So a tool is like an assistant. It helps make the work easier. Saves time, saves energy, helps with creativity, innovation and scalability. So what do I mean? With some tools, video creation tools, for example, graphic design tools like Canva, it helps us become creative. For those of us like me, who has no, I'm not a graphic designer, I'm not good at Corel Draw or anything. Canva makes my life easy. In fact, when you see some of the designs that I make, you think it's my graphic designer that actually did it, but I sat down and became creative thanks to Canva. That's the power of digital tools. So it helps unleash our creativity, also helps with innovation and scalability. So you're able to scale the work that you do because you're able to do more with less. Also, it enhances efficiency. So you become efficient with the work that you're doing when you begin to include the use of all these digital tools, including platforms. So also helps with increasing the reach and visibility of the work that we do. So in the impact sector, a lot of us are downplaying some of the work that we do. What do I mean? You're doing so much work on the ground, you're impacting lives, you're creating transformational change, but nobody knows about it because you're shy to put that work out there. You don't want it to seem like you're blowing your trumpet. But the truth is, if you do not blow your trumpet on these platforms, how would you get the resources that you need to scale your work or to take your work to higher grounds? Do you get what I'm saying? So you need to leverage digital tools for visibility and to increase your reach. So that's where the whole platforms come in. So how else or what else is the importance of using digital tools? It helps with data-driven decision making. So in this time and age that we find ourselves, it's important that you take certain decisions based on the data or the information that you have. Now, when it comes to digital platform or digital world, we have access to what we call insights or what we call these statistics of whatever it is that we're doing. So from the results that we're able to get or from the insights we're able to get, we're able to make decisions based on that to whether downplay on some activities or to increase the level or the force in that we add to those activities that we do. So with digital tools, we're able to make data-driven decisions. Then finally, increased engagement and participation. We're here right here on this call. I'm almost how many miles away from all of you, but we're here connecting, we're engaging, we're participating, and we're all in one safe space together. That's the power of digital tools. And all this really does a lot of work when it comes to the impact work that we're doing. So what are the examples of digital tools that we have? There are so many. I think we created a blog last week about the different categories of digital tools. You can check that out. We have communication and collaboration tools. We have video marketing tools. We have website and content management system tools. We have the data analytics tools. We have online fundraising platforms, so many tools in different categories, project management tools, and all of these different tools have a role to play in the work that you're doing. But it depends on how you decide to implement it or how you decide to make use of these tools. So how exactly can you begin to adopt these digital tools that you want to use for your organization? I know, especially when maybe the founder or whoever is in charge is not so techy per se, it might be difficult to implement or start to use these tools, but there's a simple process to going about it so you don't get overwhelmed. The first step is to identify your goals and your objectives for using digital tools. So what are the digital tools you want to start using in your organization? What's the goal you want to achieve? So for example, you have a team of volunteers, you want to be able to track their work progress, you want to ensure collaboration, you want to ensure that you're able to see what everyone is doing, and also maybe meet up with people at specific times. Now, these are the things you want to achieve. Because you have identified what you want to achieve, it's easier for you now to pinpoint the types of tools that would help you achieve that goal. So the first thing to adopting digital tools for impact is basically identify your goals and your objectives. Then you assess your needs and resources. So what do you have? What do you need? What exactly do you have within your team, your finance? How much can you dispense? Because some of these tools, you may have to pay for it. Although as non-profit organizations that are registered, you have access to most of these tools for free, because every company has, the social impact cause attached to their organization. So you have that privilege as a non-profit organization. So it's important that you're able to tap into all of these opportunities for your organization. So after you've assessed your needs and the resources, you now move down to researching and exploring the different tools that you can use to help you grow. So what are the tools that you can use to achieve the goal? So we've talked about collaboration tools, data analytic tools. Based on the initial goal you have identified that you want to achieve, you now start to research and identify the tools that you can use. Then, if you do not have the skills or you do not have the knowledge about these tools, you need to begin to get training, digital literacy, find out how you can use it. Go on YouTube. Some of these other tools, they have like a platform where they have like courses where you can take some of these courses for free to learn how to use some of their tools on their platform. So you can check that out too, or you join free trainings if you can, or if you must, you pay for some training so that you can acquire this skill and pass it on to your team members. After that, you begin to create an implementation plan. So how do you plan to implement the use of these tools? What's the process in which you plan to adopt these tools basically? Do you want to start from you as the founder, learning it, and then you begin to train your members? Or you want everyone to be in the process, you get someone to train you, and everyone learns on the job, that kind of thing. So create an implementation plan on how you want to begin to adopt this. Then the next thing is to test, streamline, and integrate. So now you have seen so many tools. You need to have at least a list of 5 or the top 5 in each category that you want to begin to use. So for example, you've identified Canva, Crello, Adobe Spark, and some other graphic design tools. You want to test these platforms and see which is easier for you, which is better, which fits your organization size, your team knowledge, or your team's capacity at that point. So at this point, you're testing the tools and you're streamlining to the best that works for you. So when you test, you streamline, then you begin to use those tools for your organization. Excuse me. So after you have tested, now we want to assume that you're already using it. We don't want you to just end there. You need to monitor and evaluate. So you wanted the tools, for example, to manage your volunteers' project task. You're using, let me see, you're using Rike. Rike is a project management tool. For example, you're using Rike to manage your volunteers' projects. At the end of a certain period, let's say 3 months, you want to see if Rike was an efficient platform or an efficient tool for your organization or for your volunteers. You want to go back and test or do like a survey, ask your volunteers, what was your experience using Rike? How was it for you? Was it effective? And then you want to see if there was better results before they started using the platform and now that they are using the platform. So you're monitoring, you're evaluating, and then you're seeing if it is possible for you to keep using it. So when you're done with monitoring and evaluation, which by the way, it's not a cast in stone. You don't just do it once and stop it. You need to keep doing this, especially for different tools that keep coming up, which brings me to the next point. Finally, you want to stay updated. I keep innovating because there are different tools, and with the rise of AI right now, tools are coming up every day to solve one problem or the other for you. And you cannot afford to just lag behind. You need to stay updated with as many tools as possible, because you never know, one might be very important or very useful for you. So I mentioned why you should use digital tools, what digital tools are, how you can begin to adopt it, and the types of digital tools. So I've mentioned communication and collaboration tools, the social media platforms, which we already know, website and content management systems, data analytics, online fundraising platforms, and AI tools. So now, which I'm sure is the moment everyone has been waiting for, I'm going to quickly run over some of the tools that some I have used personally, others I have just, scanned through, but all of these tools would definitely come hand in hand, good for your organization and for your personal use as volunteers to scale the work that you do. So let's get right in. Communication and collaboration tools, I mentioned Rike. Rike is for project management. There is Trello, there is Asana, which you already know. Rike is very free. There is Monday.com. Monday.com has a nonprofit version, which is Digital Lift. Lift as in L-Y-F-T. There's Digital Lift. There is Slack, which we know Slack. WhatsApp now is beginning to look like a collaboration tool or a communication tool, which it has always been. But WhatsApp is upgrading and updating different things. Right now, they recently unveiled the channels section or channels feature on WhatsApp. I don't know if it has gotten to Nigeria and other parts of Africa right now, but WhatsApp has unveiled that. So the way we have, how do I explain this now? The way we have broadcast lists, something like that, but it's not like that. It's like a channel feature on WhatsApp. People subscribe to the channel and then they keep getting updates, which is going to be very good for nonprofits especially, and people doing the impact work. So WhatsApp is really going. So I'm sorry, I'm not using slides. I'm just talking. I have my notes written. So I'm not using slides. So take the best of what you can right now. Stanley. Okay, so social media platforms, we already know. I'm not going to talk about that. We have website and content management systems. So many, those of you who create websites, you know WordPress already. There are some others like card.co. There is, hi Stanley, you're distracting me. I can't share my notes because I wrote it down with my hand. I don't know how that's going to be possible. I'm sorry. Okay, so we have card.co, we have the WordPress, which has already, they've included AI on WordPress, so AI to help the work easier. Canva also can help with WordPress, with websites, landing pages or one-page websites, as the case may be, depending on how you want to use it and how creative you are with Canva, but Canva can actually help you to do that. Then we have the data analytics, Google Analytics, and every other analytic tool on the platforms that you use. Online fundraising platforms, there are so many online fundraising platforms. In Africa, we have, I think, just 3 major ones. There is GivingNG, DonateNG, which is in Nigeria. Then for the East Africa zone, there is Michanga. These are the top 3 that I know that can really help you. But then these 3 platforms, sorry to say, are very limited. There is one called DonorBox. I use DonorBox personally. And if you have a PayPal account or a Stripe account, you can easily use DonorBox. And trust me, it's very beautiful because you have the opportunity to embed your donation page on your website, on whatever platform it is that you want to use, and which makes it easier for you to receive funds from anywhere in the world. So DonorBox is one. There is DonorPerfect. There is GiveButter, but GiveButter is only available to US organizations. So those are like the fundraising tools. I would recommend DonorBox. But if you're in Nigeria and you don't have access to Stripe and PayPal, you can easily use GivingNG or DonateNG. Okay, so the AI tools, I have a list here of AI tools. There is aicarousels.com. AI carousels helps you to create carousels, beautiful carousels. So those of us that go to Canva to create carousels, and we get exhausted with having to search for so many, designs that are unique, or having to recreate it from the scratch. With AI carousels, you can actually, create beautiful designs with the help of AI, aicarousels.com. Then we have ChatGPT, which everyone knows, but I'm very sure that you are not using ChatGPT the right way, and you're not getting as much results as you should get. But we're not going to get into that today. You could probably join us for any of our trainings at Hexa, where we're going to be talking about ChatGPT. So the other is linlab.site, linlab.site. That one helps you with free branded links. So it works like bit.ly, but then it brands your link, shortens it and brands it for you. So linlab.site. There is morph.ai, murf.ai. So morph.ai does voiceovers, online voiceovers. So if you do not want to use your voice, you want a unique voice from any country in particular, any accent that you want, morph.ai gives you access to that. Although morph.ai, I think you're limited with what you can create. But the other alternative is Naraket. Naraket, Naraket. Naraket also creates voiceovers and it's free. You can create at least 20 before you have to start to pay. So Naraket is a very great option. I've used Naraket so many times for most of the videos that we create. For promotional purposes. So you can use Naraket for voiceovers. So when it comes to writing, helping you with landing page copies, helping you with emails, helping you with content, ad copies. I'm sure some of you already know this, Jasper.ai, Copy AI. There's another one, Copymatic. All of these help you with writing. There's also WriteSonic. All of these help you with writing. Although they are very limited, some of it you have to pay, especially Jasper.ai. Then the other one is video. So for video, we have Flicky, F-L-I-K-I, Flicky. There's Synthesia. Synthesia basically creates videos for you, giving it a human feel. So it's like a human being is talking, but that human is AI. And has very natural voice. You wouldn't even detect if you never knew about it. So Synthesia is one, Munch is another, InVideo is another, Munch, M-U-N-C-H, InVideo as in in and video. So InVideo helps you create beautiful videos. You have access to the free version and also have access to the paid version. Then there is Canva AI, which I don't know how many of you already know, and also the new design tool by Microsoft, and Vidon.ai. So Vidon.ai, that's VIDON.ai, helps you convert blog posts to videos. So blog post to videos. You have a blog post on your website, but you want to put it into videos. You just take the transcript, put it on vidon.ai, and it moves it over to a video for you. Isn't that beautiful? So for those of you who are communication under the communication teams in your organization that you volunteer with, you can use some of these tools to make your life easier, to manage time. Okay, great. To manage time and be more effective. So rounding up quickly, meeting assistants, we have Fireflies, super normal, very great meeting assistants. They summarize all your meetings for you after you've had them. Then we have website builders, which is the last tool I'm going to be mentioning. You can build a no-code website from the scratch. We have Hookos, HOCOOS. There's durable.co, there's Appy Pie, sorry, and there is Teleport HQ. So those are the few tools that I have for you. There are so many AI tools, so many right now. But then do check these out. They can come in handy and help you with the work that you do. I am open to questions. I would try as much as possible for people asking for this. I'll try to see, maybe I'll just take a picture and send to Z, so maybe she can put that together for you guys and see if you can get access to it. I will really try, but I'm not promising. Thank you. I'm open to questions now. Hi, Z.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Ella, for that. Yes, definitely I would push you, like I'll chase you for this thing so that we can share to our audience. So if you have a question for her, I know that it was a bit sudden rushed, but we are trying to keep to time. We still have the panel session, which is, I know this is what a lot of us are here for. So if you have questions, please let's drop below. We'll also be dropping Ella's organization, Hexamedia, and their social media handles. Also drop Ella's email as well if you have other questions that you'd want to ask. But please let's drop our questions for that. Yes. So you can raise your hand or you can speak. I don't know if I think somebody wanted to say something. No question. Okay, Precious, I guess we can move on to the
Okay,
panel
thank
session.
you. Have a wonderful event.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ella, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay, I think we have one question in the chat group. Okay. Oh, okay. David is asking if he could get the recording, like the recorded audio for this program, that he would really love to have it. Okay. So we'll try to get it across, David. Thank you so much. Okay, so the next agenda here now is, since we didn't have any question for our panelists, sorry, for our facilitator, we didn't have any question for Emanuela, so we're moving straight ahead to the next section. Before then, I would love to just throw in a little bit of icebreaker again. Just one question before we move to the next session. And the question is, if you had an opportunity to choose any place in the world to go do a volunteer service, where would it be and why? Like any place in the world, you're offered on the platter of gold to go do a volunteer service, whether Afghanistan, whether Pakistan, India, US, I don't want to mention USA. You know, I want to mention the toughest places: Haiti, Sudan, Mali, Liberia, any place in the world that if you're offered a platter of gold to go do a volunteer service, why would you choose the place? So is there anybody that wants to just one response? One person to just attempt that? Thank you.
All right, good evening, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. My name is David. I really appreciate the organizer of this event. Okay, all right. One of the places I would love to go to for volunteering is Canada, because I know that once I go to Canada, I'll be able to learn more in terms of, I'll be able to learn more and also network with people too. Thank you, ma'am.
Should I say I smell sentiment in choosing the choice of Canada? Should I say I smell sentiment? Because everybody now is located to Canada, Canada, Canada. Why not Borno State in Nigeria? Well, so just being, that was just on the lighter note. Yeah, Canada is really a good place, to go do a volunteer service, because there are lots of opportunities. The academics, IT is a really interesting place to be. Okay, so Stanley, you have the floor now, Stanley.
Yeah, hello, good evening from Nigeria. My name is Uzokwe Stanley Yonika. Okay, if I was posted to go for volunteering assignments, I don't mind any country, because why should I go to a developed country? What am I going to volunteer for? What am I coming back to share as an experience? So I would rather go for where we have more vulnerable people. Like if it's in Nigeria, I would like to volunteer at the Northeast, the Adamawa, Borno, Gombe, all the Boko Haram prone area where people need more assistance, more care. So my voluntary activities will be more felt in that environment. And the experience I would get to will boost my volunteering experience. If I should volunteer at the Northeast, getting an international job will be very easy for me, because despite the insurgency, despite the crisis, I still went ahead to volunteer there. Shows that I am really patriotic, I am really a humanitarian, that I'm there to serve humanity. So going to a developed place for humanitarian, I think is just for the fun, that I would say. Thank you.
All right, Stanley, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. Yeah, going to a vulnerable place is going to really impact the people a lot, Go to places where we have internally displaced people. They will so much appreciate you, and the way they will pray for you from the depth of their hearts. Honestly, those prayers, they are everything. Their prayers are gold. And honestly, yeah, putting that also on your CV, that this particular place is where you went to do a volunteer service, it gives you this kind of prestige, like, if this person could go here, that person can do a lot. He has really gained experience from the toughest part of life, so it gives you an edge. Thank you so much, Stanley, for sharing. All right, so moving to the next segment on our agenda is the panel discussions. All right, so we're having the panel discussions right now. All right, so we're having a panel discussion, and the theme for the panel session is volunteering as a pathway to service. The theme, volunteering as a pathway to service, emphasizes the idea that engaging in volunteer work can be a significant step towards a life dedicated to service. It highlights the transformative power of volunteering and how it can lead individuals on a journey of meaningful contribution to their communities, courses, and world at large. We believe that volunteering can act as a stepping stone towards a more service-oriented lifestyle. By actively participating in volunteer activities, individuals can develop a deeper understanding of societal issues, foster empathy and compassion, and cultivate a sense of responsibility towards others. This panel session brings thought and experienced leaders in our core thematic areas to discuss how to leverage volunteering for growth, provide unique insight into what it means to volunteer in their sector. So we have our panelists for this particular segment. All right, we have our panelists for this particular segment, and the moderators are Godsent and Farida. So I'll be handing over now to the moderators for this particular session to bring forth our panelists, and I believe we'll all learn and have a nice time. See you.
Good afternoon. Godsend, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Good evening, everyone.
If you are speaking, you're on mute, Godsend.
Okay, I said good evening, everyone. I was wondering if everyone could hear me.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, I guess everyone can hear me. So we'll be starting this evening off. Sorry for the wait. I'm trying to log into my also network problems. I'm just trying to get the agenda of the day so we can keep to time. So if you just give me a few minutes. And I'll be introducing the second moderator, Farida. So Farida, if you could just introduce yourself if you are available, that would be nice.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Farida Ahmed, and I'll be your second moderator for the evening. Hello, Godsend, are you there? Your mic is on mute. Can anybody hear me, please?
Yes, I'm here. I'm the one that muted my mic.
Okay, so okay, so thank you so much, Godsend and Farida. So while you guys are trying to get the document, I would like to just introduce one of our special guests today, and should also be joining us on this panel session, Janet. Janet, thank you so much for being a part of this program today. Thank you so much for being here, and really appreciate it. And we've shared our profiles. We've shared the profiles of all the speakers who are supposed to be here today. So we have different speakers from different areas. So we have Mr. Abdul Basit. So I always have it an issue with his name, but I think I've gotten it now. Mr. Abdul Basit, yes, and he's from the health sector. We have Blessing, who is from the environmental sector. We have Jeanette from the education sector, and we have Mr. Sunday, who also works in health and also in youth empowerment. So all these four speakers would be answering one question each, and would have a general question that would ask them, and then we'll take questions from the audience. So Godsend, I wanted to just know if you are
I'm still available. I'm still available.
All
So
right.
I can't really share my screen with the distance due to network issue, but I'm trying to share my screen so everybody could see what we are going to
Okay.
be having for the event. So on the panel discussion, the theme of our panel discussion for today will be volunteering as a pathway to service. So I'll just do a brief on the theme. The theme, volunteering as a pathway to service, emphasizes the idea that engaging in volunteer work can be a significant step toward the life dedicated to service. So what this means to me is that when you find something you are passionate about, like the saying goes, doing a job you love makes you never work a day. Volunteering is a way of dedicating yourself to service. It's a way of offering a part of you that you know you are very good at, that no one can do better than you, to service that contributes to society. It highlights the transformative power of volunteering and how it can lead individuals on a journey of meaningful contribution to their community, cause, and the world at large. Like it's always said, when you are looking for change, it starts with the man in the mirror. So volunteering is you using the man in the mirror to affect others and by a large extent the world at large. We believe that volunteering can act as a stepping stone towards a more service-oriented lifestyle. When you volunteer, you gain a network of like-minded individuals. You have a you have an importance in the world. You have a service that you render that is invaluable to other people. So when you go out, you know that this is what I'm doing with my life. You live a more service-oriented lifestyle because you know that this is what's going on. This is how I contribute to the world. By actively participating in volunteer activities, individuals can develop a deeper understanding
Good evening. So sorry about that. I'm guessing maybe network or something, but we have questions that we need to ask and we have a very short time. So please, Godson, can you just quickly go to the
Okay,
question so that the
okay, no problem.
panelists can answer?
So,
Yes.
no problem. So, I'll be wrapping that up with a conclusion. This panel session brings thought and experienced leaders in our core thematic areas to discuss how to leverage volunteering for growth, provide unique insights into what it means to volunteer in their sectors, and more. So, for our panelists, we have four questions, and each of these questions, due to time, would be answered within 3 to 5 minutes. So, for our first question, which any panelist can just answer, what does the concept of a pathway to service mean to you within the context of volunteerism in your sector? So please, any of our panelists can just choose to answer that.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes,
we
we
can hear
can.
you.
All right. Just like you said in your question, within the context of volunteerism, the concept of a pathway to service refers to the journey that individuals undertake to identify, engage, and contribute meaningfully to a cause or organization through their volunteer efforts. What you have identified as a person and what you undertake or what you engage in or you contribute meaningfully to, that is actually the pathway to service. That's what I personally refer to as the context of volunteerism. When you identify something and you are committed to that particular cause, that is exactly what volunteerism is all about. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sunday. So the Godson, hello, Godson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I thought you wanted to do a conclusion on Sunday's answer. But if there's no input, if there's no further input, I would like to go to the second question. Now, for our panelists, in your experience, what role does volunteerism play in addressing the specific challenges and opportunities within your sector?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me, because I think there's a bit of noise at my
We
background.
can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, so my name is Abdul Basit, and I serve as Executive Director at Health Volunteers Nigeria Initiative. So as for what roles, I would I want to just share a bit. So we have quite a vast sector, right? Because I'm speaking basically from health. So we have quite a vast sector. In health, you see a lot. You can have people in public health, people in community health, primary health care on its own. We have non-communicable diseases and all of that. So basically, every one of us will agree with me that Nigeria as a country today, we are highly understaffed in the health sector. So you see that on almost an everyday basis, more doctors continue to move out of the country, nurses, laboratory scientists, variously, virtually everybody in the health sector is moving out of the country because they are looking for greener pastures. But how have we been able to fill the roles so far, such that even with the fact that we have a depletion of personnel, we're able to kind of ensure that there's a level of equity as regards to healthcare delivery. So this essentially is because a lot of health concerned NGOs are now actively involved in providing services in the health sector. So you see that in virtually every sector of health, we have NGOs that are providing services. We have volunteers working for these NGOs selflessly. So some of them are basically probably in their own private firms or engaged in government jobs. But you see them aside all of this, creating time to deliver services, especially in underserved communities. So for an organization like us, because we work basically in underserved communities and hard to reach areas, what we experience is that a vast number of volunteers on a regular basis work with us. They live practically their everyday jobs. Some of them are community health practitioners, some of them are medical doctors, some of them are pharmacists, some of them are nurses, laboratory scientists, and all of that in various spheres of healthcare. So we find that all of them, they find time out of their busy schedule, they create time to look at all these areas that we call them to deliver services. So somehow you will find that the gaps as regards healthcare delivery in communities is kind of being bridged because of the services that volunteers offer. So volunteers do quite a lot. Volunteers do quite a lot, and I can expressly say that we cannot fully quantify the roles that volunteers play, but particularly in the health sector, because of volunteers, Nigeria's health sector in particular has not collapsed. I'm telling you that for free. because of volunteers, health sector has not collapsed. So look at the Northeast, for instance. I was hearing people talking about volunteering in the Northeast. Like, so in the Northeast, apart from poverty alleviation and emergency services, like providing shelters, the roles that medical professionals are playing in volunteering in the Northeast, as I speak with you, is very, very, very magnanimous. Right? So we have a lot of volunteers in that region, practically in healthcare, right, helping to control communicable diseases. You would all agree with me that in all of those camps where we have a lot of people, I mean IDP camps specifically, the chances of communicable diseases spreading in those areas are very high because of the density of the areas. So we have community health practitioners, we have social workers, all in that space, trying to ensure that they control the probable spread of communicable diseases in all of these areas. Because imagine people who are already out of the comfort of their homes because they are looking for safety, and then they are now exposed to deadly diseases that can even take their lives. So you run away from the guns and bullets, but you run into the hands of a disease that will terminate your life. So you kind of agree with me that we cannot fully quantify the roles that volunteers play, especially in the health sector in Nigeria. And I say it again, that because of the roles that volunteers currently play in Nigeria's health sector has not collapsed, and it's not looking like it's going to collapse anytime soon. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, thank you for that. Thanks to our panelists for that insightful answer. So going forward, due to time, we'll have a number of panelists on the call. So we'll be specifically giving them questions so we can get their specific input. Now, for our third question, this will be going to our panelist, Sunday Akinwelere. Sorry if I got the name wrong. So for Mr. Sunday, in your experience, what role does volunteerism play in addressing the specific challenges and opportunities within your sector? So this is for Sunday Akin. I will just stop at the Akin.
All right, thank you very much. The roles that volunteerism actually play is crucial in addressing the specific challenges and of course opportunities within the youth development sector. I also work in the education space too. I think I can just mention a few of them. Number one is mentorship and guidance. Now, in the youth development sector, volunteers actually, release themselves to, mentor youths and teenagers. Now, by sharing their knowledge, their skills, and life experiences, volunteers can also guide and inspire youth, helping them to develop essential life skills and set goals. You will agree with me that we have so many youths who do not really understand what they really need as a person. They don't know the skills that it's expected of them to thrive in any field that they find themselves. Like in the education sector now, there are some skill sets that you need to acquire so that you can thrive in that sector. In the health sector, there are some skill sets that you need to thrive even in health sector. So in the youth development sector, what we do, or what volunteers do actually, is to ensure that they serve as guide and as a source of inspiration for youths to help them to develop essential life skills, help them to set goals for themselves and make informed decisions. That's number one. Number two, volunteering in the youth sector or the youth development sector also provides opportunities for young people to acquire new skills. If they already have a skill before, they'll be able to acquire new skills and then enhance the existing ones. And of course, it also helps them with empowerment and engagement. Volunteering in the youth development sector encourages youth to become actively involved in their communities. They can go out there to carry out community immersion. We call it community immersion. That is, going out there to volunteer. And then, like while I was serving in NYC, we call it Community Development Service, that's CDS. So with volunteers, we can be able to do, or we can be able to contribute meaningfully to the society. And of course, before I move away from there, I talked about mentoring the other time. I discover personally that we have so many youths who lack mentorship. Many people, even teachers, are not ready to mentor teenagers in secondary or primary schools. People out there are not ready to mentor people just because they are not paid for it. But volunteers will actually step in to bridge this gap. And of course, we talk about personal growth and well-being. We have so many youths out there who are struggling in one way or the other and really need someone who will be able to help them in their personal growth, and not only professional development, even their personal growth needs to be attended to. So we have volunteers that offer youth a chance to explore their interests, their passions and talents. Some persons do not really know their interests. With mentoring, youths will be able to identify their interests, they'll be able to identify their core values, and they'll be able to identify that which they can, run ahead with. So it can actually provide a platform for self-discovery too. That's mentorship, which volunteers in the youth development sector are actually doing. Many people have been able to discover themselves through mentorship. And of course, increased self-esteem. We have some people, they are very vast in one thing or the other, but for them to be able to come out there and showcase what they possess is a bit difficult for them. So what volunteers in the youth development sector do is to step in and then try to ensure that youths are self-aware. Some youths do not, really know who they are. They do not really know their strengths. They don't know their weaknesses. They don't know what drives them to do what they are actually doing. So engaging in volunteer work also promotes mental well-being by reducing stress, fostering a sense of fulfillment and all that. And lastly, before I stop, we can also say that volunteers in the youth development also help in career exploration and development. We have youths out there who do not really know the career to pursue. I make bold to say that I actually fall into this category where when I was growing up, when I was in secondary school, there was nobody to serve as a counselor for me. And it actually, impacted me negatively, if not for God. Let me say that. I remember the God factor.
Sunday, please, can you round up? It's your 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Yes. So volunteers in the youth development also ensure that there's career exploration and development, and then the support are used to achieve greatly in the society. So thank you for having me.
Okay, wow, that was a very insightful, insight on Sunday's answer. So I don't know, is our panelist Blessing a query in the house? So if she's in the house, can she just signify?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, so this question goes to you, Ms. Blessing. Could you share a personal journey or story that highlights the transformative power of volunteerism and how it can shape one's journey in your sector?
Okay, so
I'll be repeating the
thank
question. Okay, you got the question.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Just like he has introduced, I am Blessing Ekperi, the head of operations at Ekubata. So the question, you said I should share a personal journey or story of the transformative power of volunteerism. I remember when I finished from school, from university, and as it is here in Nigeria, after finishing, sometimes you have to wait 6 months or a year before you even go to serve.
And then I was even still trying to understand myself and identify who I am or what sector to focus on or what career to, where to build my career. And so I decided to volunteer for an organization, a geological firm, and to just go to their office and learn. And that was where I met the founder of Ecobata. And then she also was about starting the organization. And so I decided to key into her vision, and I told her I was going to volunteer with you for the time being while she was building her portfolio. And I volunteered with her. We came up with content together. We designed the parts for the organization before I went to serve. And by the time I finished serving, I returned back to Abuja, and I didn't have a job to begin with. I didn't have a job to begin with when I came back to Abuja. And suddenly one morning, she just sent me a message. And she remembered, she said, "Oh, Blessing, how are you doing?" I said, "I'm fine." She said, "How is service?" I said, "I'm done and I'm back to Abuja." She said, "Oh, wow. I remember you were with me before while I was about starting up. And I know you are one person that can show up and work. Would you mind coming to volunteer with me again I have a project that I want to run?" And that was how I began volunteering for Ecobata at the time. So we started out at J, and I was there for the first setup of the collection center. And over time, as we began to work, it grew from just being volunteering for a project, and I got a permanent employment. And that was how I was able to shape my own career journey and build myself in this sector. So for me to have even found myself, I had to step out of my comfort zone and volunteer and be a part of someone else's story who has even been in the sector. And already, like I said in the beginning, it was even going out and stepping out to make myself available to offer service that even connected me to Miss Rita Idehai. Because if I had stayed in my own place and say, "Oh, if I don't get a job that is going to pay me to come out and work, I am not going to do anything," I would have sat down there lost in my own misery and while I'm looking for a job to do. So one of the things that I know from my personal story that volunteering can do for you is going to connect you to your next level. It's going to connect you to people. That's how you get to meet people in various spaces that would then launch you to your next level or help you discover yourself. Secondly, when you're trying to build a career and you don't even know where to start out, volunteering is a good place to test the waters. Let me put it that way. It's a good place to test the waters, you know. For example, in the environmental sector, we have the people who are just here to advocate. We have people who are here even in the area of finance, climate financing. We have people who are chasing after waste management and people who are doing that of climate change. So by the time you start to volunteer, you begin to test these different sectors and see, oh, what does it mean to be in this sector? How can I engage in this sector? We even have people that come in even as social media content creators or program managers. So you don't necessarily even have to say you want to be in the environmental space to even find yourself. You can volunteer in any sector to build your in the line that you want to go, be it tech, be it project management or photography or even fashion. I've seen people who come into the waste management sector to build on fashion or to build on agriculture. So it helps you to come in and then test the waters and even identify, okay, what path do I want to take after this? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Blessing. Please, our participants, everybody, please, the form for our the link to our feedback form is in the chat session. Please, can you help us fill it? Thank you very much. Godsend, over to you.
So we've gotten through the specified questions. So now we have a general question for all panelists. And this question, please, We know you have very insightful answers, but please, due to time, could you limit your answers to 1 or 2 minutes, at most 2 minutes? And the question goes, how can individuals navigate and find their own unique path? Give us 2 ways on this question. And we'll be starting with the last speaker, Blessing Equere.
Okay, so thank you very much. So just like I said earlier, for volunteers to find their path, I think they can identify their specific talents. So it can be in communication, project management, research, advocacy, and determine how these skills can be applied in the space that they want to volunteer. Then, you know, while you're doing this, you can then seek trainings, workshop, network with other people in the space or even other space to then build yourself. Thank you.
That was nice, Blessing. So the second person for the would be answering would be Abdul Bashir.
Okay, thank you very much. So for me, volunteers finding their paths, because the health sector is a specialized space. I think volunteers, first of all, should seek knowledge. You should seek knowledge. So if you want to volunteer in health, probably you need to, first of all, consider the adequate knowledge in which you want to use to volunteer. And aside seeking knowledge, for people who want to learn while volunteering, I think it's not bad to also enter into the space and pick your interests. So if you have your goals for volunteering, you can as well, at the point of volunteering, now say, okay, I want to volunteer in this department. So even if you didn't have the skill to volunteer in that department, you already commit yourself to learning. So if you commit yourself fully to learning, I think that the sky is just the beginning.
So that was very insightful. So we'll go to Mr. Sunday. Then after Mr. Sunday, we'll go back to our special guest, Ms. Janet, to answer.
All right. Let me leverage on what others have said. And I think I also mentioned it the other time that self-awareness is key. Now you need to start by reflecting on your core values. What are your core values? What drive you? And of course, your interest too, because this interest is very important. If you don't have interest in something, you will find it difficult to pursue because it may be strenuous if there's no interest. And lastly, your experience matters a lot too. What was your experience in the past? You can become an advocate for that particular thing. Probably you were molested while you were in secondary school, and now that you've grown up, you've known what it means to be molested and the impact it had on you. From that experience, you can become an advocate of no to rape or something like that. So your experience actually can help you to find your unique path. Thank you.
So that's all for Mr. Sunday. Quite impactful, using past experience as well, focusing your volunteering passion. So we'll go to our special speaker, Ms. Janet Isale.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm pleased to be here. Godson, let me guess you correctly. What would you have me do?
Okay, so we're doing a general question for all panelists, and you were included as our special guest. So I'll just run through the question. And the question goes, how can individuals navigate and find their own unique path in the volunteering sector? Give us 2 ways. Please, the answer should not be more than 2 minutes. Thank you.
All right, so how volunteers can find their path? Firstly, I would say you need to identify what you're passionate about. Trust me, it's passion that's going to keep you on the path of volunteering. Because if you get, I see a lot of people want to volunteer and they volunteer because they just want to volunteer or because they find people volunteering. But what's your essence? What's the purpose? Are you really passionate about that cause that you want to volunteer for? There are so many organizations across sectors, environmental, education. So identify your pain points, identify your passion, the things you want to see, the problem you want to see solved. I think the first thing that will keep you, that will help you identify it is look at what you're passionate for, and then you can go ahead. And I also wanted to share a personal experience about volunteering. Okay, so for me, I remember in 2020 during the COVID, I volunteered for Lagos Food Bank Initiative in Lagos. And during the process of volunteering, I met some great people who are still, great persons in my life even up until now. So with volunteering, have a plan, have a goal. Oh, this is the reason why I'm volunteering. Volunteer with passion, volunteer with sense, have sense. Yeah, we don't just go and do work because volunteer is going to open many great and mighty doors for you. Trust me, I've gotten into rooms, into places that ordinarily I would not. But because of my organization that I run and volunteering experience that I've had over the years, that's opened up to me many great doors. So that's it for me, really.
So that was a wonderful session on our panelists. So I will just give the room for our listeners to just give their input. But due to time, please could you restrict your input to the chat box? And if it's quite important, you could just raise your hand to make any further discussion into what the panelists have said. Thank you. So I'll be giving the mic to my second or my partner for the moderation, to Ms. Farida, to just continue.
All right, please, we're moving straight to the last section for today, which is the workshop section, which we handled by Wendy. Please do stay around. It's going to be, promises to be very brief. We're rounding up very soon. And please look into the chat box and fill in the feedback form. Thank you so much. Your responses are duly and will be duly and highly noted. Thank you very much. Wendy, please.
Sorry, I didn't realize that my mic was off. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much to the panelists. Please, you can just drop your questions if you have them. So, because we're just trying to rush up with time. So, my session is basically talking about volunteer retention and volunteer motivation. And it's something that a lot of us who have nonprofits or are in a nonprofit organization or in a social impact organization, are familiar with. So just to be fast and because of the time that we have right now, I will just give us a short, sorry, just give me, yes. So I'll just give us like points just to point out some of these things, and then we'll share the slides with you. I'll share the slides with you because we have very little time. So yes, so we have very little time. So first of all, how can you stay motivated as a volunteer? When you're volunteering as in an organization, how can you stay motivated? How can you stay motivated, and how can you motivate volunteers? That's one of the reasons why we have this. So the first thing first is to, first of all, set clear goals. right? You need to understand why exactly you're volunteering. So there's something I usually tell people when it comes to volunteering. I call it the 5Ks to volunteering. And I will just mention, if you need to know more about the 5Ks, you can join our Telegram channel and you will see more details about the 5Ks there, right? And the first K is know your why. Know your why. Why are you volunteering? Understand why you are volunteering. Understand your values, right? Ensuring that okay, the reason why you're volunteering for this organization is because you want to do this, or is because maybe you want to gain networks, you want to increase. Somebody is saying something and it's distracting. The first thing is know your why, right? And then the next thing is know your what you want to commit and what you want to give. So basically, when I say knowing what you want to commit and what you want to give, volunteering is a two-way thing. You give, you receive, right? A lot of people give, and at the end of the day, don't get anything back from the organization. So you need to understand that, okay, what exactly am I offering to this organization? Okay, am I offering my skills? Am I offering my time? Am I offering resources? So you need to understand that. You also need to understand your own timing. You can't be doing 9 to 5 and then you are doing a volunteer job that would take most of your 9 to 5. Right? So you need to understand, okay, what time am I committing to this particular cause? Because that would also help you navigate around, setting your goals for you as a volunteer. We actually have a resource that we usually share to people as well. You can, like I said, most of these things, you can check our Telegram group. We have a resource called the Volunteer Documentation Guide, right? That is something that can also help you with guiding your, setting your goals and saying, okay, this is what I've done as a volunteer over the past 3 months, over the past 4 months as a volunteer, right? So that's one thing I've mentioned right now. And then the other thing that we need to stay understand clearly, sorry. Sorry. So sorry guys. I was kind of choking. I had to take water. So to go back to what I was talking about setting goals as a volunteer, the next thing is try to connect to the cause. So it's almost similar to setting goals. Connecting to the cause, helps you to. So why exactly? Okay, for instance, we have, let's say, let me use Ecobata as an example. Ecobata is an environmental organization, right? So are you into environment? Are you into sustainability? It helps you to stay motivated. If you're not into environment, if you're not into and things like that, you shouldn't go into something that you know that you yourself do not have the passion for, or do not have the willingness to go into it. So if you are someone who's interested in maybe say gender equality, gender things regarding gender, and then you find yourself in a space where you are into doing environmental work, these two don't align, right? So end of the day, if you are working in environment space, when things come to shove, like when it comes to like committing to the cause, it will be difficult for you, because that's not something that you really align with. But if you are in a place where, okay, you know that, okay, this is what you want to do, this is where you want to work, this is how you want to impact people, it actually helps you, see things clearly and better. So so I've talked about connecting to the cause. I've talked about setting goals, celebrate milestones. That's something that for everything you do, I think that's something that a lot of us volunteers do not do. Celebrate your milestones. It's very important that if you do something, let's say if you organize an event, it's important that when you organize an event that you put it out there. Okay, I was part of this event. We got this amount of people. I participated in this campaign. Document these things. It's very, very, very important, especially when you want to apply for opportunities, you want to apply for things. I don't know if anyone read through our newsletter I sent over a year ago when I was talking about the fact that I have done a lot of volunteering rules, right? But I can't even put them on paper because of the fact that I wasn't documenting a lot of these things, right? Like I was everywhere, doing a lot of things. But, when it comes to sitting and say, okay, what did I do? Because I don't have them documented, it's hard for me to actually trace these things. So if you're here and you want to go into volunteering, you're already a volunteer, it's really important that, you record your milestones, you record everything that you do. If you learn a new skill, if you learn something, record it, put it down, let it be there that, okay, on this date, so date. So we have a documentation guide. If you need it, we will share with you on the Telegram platform. So that is those are some of the ways to motivate yourself as a volunteer. So what are the factors involved in volunteer motivation, right? So I'm just going to list them out. So personal values, like I've said before, social connections, right? You have to understand social connections, sense of impact. Do you give this is in respect to people who own organizations, right? Do you give feedback to your volunteers? Do they understand the impact of what they are doing? Personal values, what are their values? What are your values? Do your values align with those with your volunteers' values? For eminent services consults, we have accountability, we have respect, we have passion of service. These values also have to align with your volunteers' personal own values as well. So it makes it easier for them to actually work with you. Skills development. How often do you share opportunities for growth? Do you just leave your volunteers on your group and, when is the next event, you just tell them to come? How often do you share opportunities with them? How often do you share resources with them? Recognize and recognition and awards. How do you recognize volunteers for the month? For us at Eminent Services, we have Volunteer of the Month. When we notice that somebody has been doing exceptionally well in their field, we do Volunteer of the Month. And our Volunteer of the Month gets a CV rewrite, LinkedIn optimized. These are some of the things we do for our own volunteers at ESC. What are you doing for your own volunteers at your organization, right? So these are some of the important things that we need to understand. So when it comes to like volunteer retention, we have, like I said, I'm going to list everything and I'm going to share the slides to everybody. We have effective onboarding. How effective is your onboarding? Are you just, onboarding anyhow? I know a lot of organizations, if I even go into that details, it's going to take a long time, but how effective are you? How are you doing your onboarding sessions, right? How do you get them in? How do you recruit them? How do you train them? This is something that we do for you. If you don't have the time to do, we do it for you at a cost. Volunteer roles, are they clearly defined? What are the roles that you have for your volunteers? Are they clearly defined, right? Ensure that they have clearly defined roles. Not that you are giving, yes, I understand a lot of non-profits do not have, social enterprises do not have organizations, do not have funding to actually get staff, right? So it's important that when you are listing out roles, do not overwhelm a volunteer with so many roles. Ensure that you state it clearly, put it on paper, write it to them, send it to them as an email. If you have to stamp it, sign it, let them understand that this is the roles that they have, and if you need to, add additional role, maybe due to some issues, you need to clarify, you need to communicate, which brings me to my next question. Communication, how do you communicate with your volunteers? You need to have a proper way of channeling your communications. How do you communicate? Do you communicate WhatsApp? Do you communicate with newsletters? Do you send text messages? Do you, all these things actually revolve around, how you communicate with them is really, really properly too. right? And then when things began to, stumble, when this kind of thing, like someone will drop a WhatsApp message and then everybody is just fighting here and there, because communication was not passed properly. Communication, like, okay, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. Maybe you have an event, and instead of letting your volunteers, okay, this event, or we have an event coming up, this is happening. Or maybe a person didn't show up, you can say, okay, this person didn't show up, we are changing the agenda so that everybody is followed, everybody understands what's happening within the organization. Not the one you just wake up one morning and be like, oh, okay, guys, we are going to this place tomorrow. And everybody's like, from where, from how, when did we do this? That's something that a lot of organizations need to understand and need to really key in. And then the next thing is creating a supportive environment. So supportive environment is really, really important for any volunteer that if you want to retain them, if you want to motivate them, create a very supportive environment. Supportive environment, I'm not talking about the supportive environment whereby some people have a clique. I don't know if you've noticed that if you're volunteering, and notice that some people have some set of cliques. At the end of the day, you notice that some people are left out because they are cliques of, maybe because they were friends already before joining in, or they became friends, while in. So try as much as possible to notice this kind of dynamics in your organization. Try as much as possible to include everybody, ensure everybody is included, even though you can see that, okay, some people might want to segregate other people. Try as much as possible to make sure it's supportive. How can you do that? By doing activities on your group, like fun activities that bring people together, peer people that that, okay, this person, let's say, let me use somebody on this call. Let's say Jacob does not vibe well with Stanley, and they knew that so they don't vibe well, put them together in a fun activity. This kind of things would help boost networks, and just not apart from networks, also boost the morale. Everybody will feel part of something, right, and not feel neglected in the system. And then the last point is self-care. Self-care is really, very important. There's something called the volunteer burnout that a lot of volunteers experience, because you want to, like, let me put in quotes, save the world, right? And at the end of the day, you're everywhere but nowhere, like in the words of our former president, right? And end of the day, you find yourself, getting overwhelmed and tired and not being able to do the tasks as expected of you, or because decide to overwhelm yourself. Please, let's understand that there's that superheroes are fictional for a reason, right? So you are a human being, and you need to take care of yourself and take care of your mental health. It's really, really important as a volunteer. If you need to take breaks, take the breaks. You don't need to, if you know that, okay, you're experiencing an issue, let's say maybe a loss or illness or something like that will not help you in achieving your tasks, ensure you let your organization know. Ensure that you also take that leverage and tell your organization so that they can understand and take action for you, and you can also be able to rest as a person. So this is just a summary of everything I have so far. It was actually like about a 10-page slide, but let me just summarize this because of time. And if you have questions, you can drop all your questions regarding the panel session, the workshop we just did now, and they would answer everything, and then we'll close up for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Precious, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much, Wendy. That was really insightful. The part that I really love about it is the part of volunteer burnout. See, that is real. It's not just in the corporate world where people are being paid. In the paid world, that we have people being worn out and get to their limit. We also have experience same in the volunteer environment. So I think the next thing you're left with now is question and answer. Please drop your questions. Also, try to please fill the feedback form before you leave. Thank you so much. So with this, we've come to the end of this beautiful event. So as we reflect on our journey and look ahead, we are excited to celebrate our anniversary by further embracing and enhancing volunteerism. We invite you to join us in this endeavor. Please, in this endeavor, helping us to keep the spirit of volunteerism alive and striving, fueling positive change in communities around the world. Together, let's empower, engage, and shape the future of volunteerism for impact. So with that, we've come to the end of this event. Thank you so much for taking our time to be here. Thank you to all our speakers, to all the moderators, to the guest speakers, to the facilitators, and thank you so much to Wendy for bringing this idea to life and for making this day a reality. Because if you have not bettered this idea, I don't think we'll have anything to celebrate today. Thank you so much for being a medium where people have been impacted and life has been changed. And personally, I have been given various opportunities to do things and try things for the first time and sometimes over and over again. Thank you so much. So on behalf of Eminent Service and Consorts, the volunteer blog, we thank you all for your presence here, and we really hope to see more of us around. So for more information, for more about, or for you to know more about our profile and what we do as an organization, please join the Telegram link that was posted previously, and you get every detailed information you need. And for all the promised notes and recordings for this event, join the Telegram channel. That is where it will be shared to every one of us. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Hope to see you some other time. Take care and do have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Precious. So nobody had any questions at all, because I noticed that nobody dropped anything for the speakers. Okay, so I guess we can. Okay, all right. Blessing, thank you so much. Abdul Basit has left the call. Sunday has left the call. Thank you so much to all the panelists and everyone here. Since nobody has any question, I believe we can end the call. Please, you can drop your questions on our Telegram group and we'll answer them. So we'll share the Telegram link again. Please drop your questions there if you have any. Thank you so much.